Hello friends, welcome back to another video where I am sick again. Yay. Yes, I did a video, I feel like it was only maybe a month ago, and I was sick. And here I am with a cold once again. It's been great, really. I have a drink here to keep me hydrated because the more that I talk, the worse my throat feels. And I also have, I'm working from home today as well. I have some calls that I have to make. So I know I'm going to be talking a lot more this afternoon. So it's a thing. But this video, hello, welcome back. I decided I was going to do my 10 before the end, which I feel like a lot of book influencers here on BookTube and also on other social medias on Instagram and TikTok are making these lists of just the books that we're all trying to prioritize and trying to get in before the end of the year. Now that it is coming on to the end of October, we only have 2 months left of the year, which is pretty crazy to think about. I remember, I'm pretty sure I made this video last year, and I don't know that I got to any of the books that I put in my 10 before the end for last year. Here's hoping that I will actually make it to all of the books that I put on this list. I am putting, I don't know, I have different avenues that my brain is going in for the last couple of months in the year. And I don't know that I will get to all of these, but I'm going to try because I'm also really wanting to finish up some different series that I've started this year. So I don't know what I'll have time for. But for some reason, I decided to make all of my 10 before the end books that have been on my shelves, which I haven't been doing a great job of reading books from my shelves. So this was a way to try to like motivate myself to reach one of my goals to read from my shelves. Also, most of these books have come out this year, so I would really like to try to get these books read because I've heard really good things about all of these books. So I want to try to prioritize those. There are, I think, one or two, maybe. I think there's a few here that have not come out this year, but they have like series or other books that have come out this year. So they're hyped right now, and I need to read them. But before we get into all of those books, please make sure if you enjoy this video, if you like my content, that you are hitting the thumbs up button and also subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I'm just so humbled and so blown away that I have so many people that like to watch my videos and my content. I don't even know where I want to start. And my stack of books that I have here, I just grabbed them randomly off of my shelves. And they're also like, I also have like a list so I remember what these books are about. And it's all just out of order. My brain is just not as much in a drug induced fog as the other video that I made where I was sick, but it's still, it could be better. First up, I have Lore of the Wild by Annalie Sprana. This is my pretty Fairy Loot edition, and I've ordered another edition of this book because my self-control is not the greatest. And you can see I have a bookmark in here with the intention that I was going to read this. I think I had planned to read this over the summer, and I read a chapter, and that's as far as I got into this one because then I don't know, I wasn't in a fantasy mood and I got distracted by other things. I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of like a mermaid. I get distracted by stuff so easily. But this is a duology, a fantasy romance. This one is our female main character is human, and she makes this deal with this fae that is wanting something out of this mysterious library that the fae cannot get into. So she makes this deal that she will go into this library and like catalog it, And I don't know if there's anything else she's doing for this other fae, but she is going into it like hoping that she can find magic for herself. And then I think there's maybe like this journey or something that she's going on to either get to the library. And there's the two fae males that are kind of like helping to protect her along the way. I know this is enemies to lovers. There's a love triangle in here that, again, it concludes in the second book of this series, which the second book came out this year. So that's why I'm really wanting to get to this. I had intentions of reading this, like I said before now, and I haven't. And I've heard good things about this series. So I really need to try to prioritize and read this book before the end of the year. Then we have Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. This one came out, I believe, a month or two ago. And this one is like a neo-noir, mafia-esque story with like almost like a retelling of Lilith in the Garden of Eden, but different. So our female main character is Lilith, and she survives Eden basically by like stealing different things, and she seeks refuge in this one district of Eden that is the district of like sin, and she steals this dagger, this very mysterious, I think maybe magical dagger that then also has some like deaths associated with it. So she seeks help from the ruler of the district of sin for sort of like protection, and they're trying to figure out what is going on with this dagger. I believe this has a little bit of like frenemies to lovers, or is it friends to lovers? I don't know, one of those. I've just heard amazing things about this book, and it sounds so cool. This book, I actually got a signed version of this book. I don't know, this cover looks amazing. It sounds so good. I really, really want to read this before the end of the year. Honestly, I'm really surprised that I haven't read this book already because I've been so hyped for this one to come out. The Good Girl Effect by Sarah Kate. This is the first book of her Next Gen series from the Salacious Players Club series. So this is about their children. So this one is a widowed single dad and his nanny. He owns a sex club, I believe, in Paris. I've been so hyped for this one to come out, and I just saw that Sarah Kate announced the new cover for book 2 of this series that I believe is coming out next year. I love a Sarah Kate book. I know this one isn't super long, so I feel like I'm going to end up flying through it. I know I'm going to love it because I love almost everything that Sarah Kate puts out. And again, I love the Salacious Players Club series, so them getting a next gen, I know it's going to be so good. So I have no idea why I haven't gotten to this book yet, but it's been sitting pretty on my shelves, giving me looks because I haven't picked it up yet. So hopefully I will get to this before the end of the year. I have to prepare for book 2 coming out. And then this book, I still haven't read Bull Moon Rising. This has been on many a TBR. I was so hyped for this book to come out last year. I was so excited to get my hands on this one, and I wanted to read it immediately. And then here we are. I still haven't read it, and I've even gotten book 2. Book 2 just came out, so I need to get this one. This one, our female main character, I think her family's in debt. Like, her father has gambled away a bunch of their money, maybe, and so she's needing to get some money, and she knows a really great way for accumulating wealth is to get these different artifacts that are in the world. So the best way to do that is to join the Artifact Guild. However, they will not let her in because she is a woman. So she devises a plan to marry our Minotaur male character in like a marriage of convenience. I don't know exactly what he gets out of it, but she gets married to him, and he's already in the guild, so she can then also be his apprentice and help find like these artifacts and whatnot. But he is about to go into a rut. So there's that. I don't know. So many people have told me that I will love this book. because it's so good. And I know I will because I adore Ruby Dixon. I don't know. I really don't know why I haven't got to this. And I need to read book 2. Anyway, and then What Fury Brings by Trisha Levenseller. This one is a new release. I actually pre-ordered this one because it's got the pretty sprayed edges. Also, look at this naked book. How freaking gorgeous is this naked book? I've heard so many good things about this book. This is Trisha Levenseller's first adult fantasy romance book. She's written previously YA. I have read some of her YA and I have really enjoyed her YA, and I remember reading them and just wanting them to be a little bit more adult. So I'm so excited for this one, and I think this sounds so interesting. So this is a fantasy world where in this kingdom, men have almost virtually died out. So it is a matriarchal system. I love that. And our female main character, she is a warrior princess, and she is seeking a husband. In order for her to get a husband, she has to kidnap somebody from a different kingdom. So she decides to kidnap our male main character from an enemy kingdom, and she's tasked with like training him to be her husband. And I love everything about this premise. It sounds so cool, and it's just a total spin from what we typically see in fantasy books. I don't know, this just sounds so freaking good, and I need to read this because I've heard amazing things about it. Then another recent release, House of Rain by Harley LaRue. This one I especially need to get to because it is a standalone. I have so many series going on right now that I'm in the middle of, that I want to start or that I'm trying to finish up. So having a standalone is perfect. Ideally, I'd like to finish this. It would be great if I could finish this before the end of October. I know I'm not actually going to get to this before the end of October, so I'm hoping maybe in like the beginning part of November I can try to get to this one, because I know this is like gives very spooky vibes to it. It's I believe this is like a gothic romance, maybe a little horror potentially. And this is a sapphic book. One of our female main characters, she gets stranded on this island and seeks help from our other female main character who has I don't know if it's a mansion or a house, but this place is seemingly like haunted. I don't know, but then I know there's a bunch of like kinks and stuff in here, and they both desire each other. It just, I don't know. I've really enjoyed Harley Rue's books in the past that I've read from her. Her books are very, very spicy. And I didn't realize when I got this that apparently there's art on the inside. There's just this one page. This dude, I don't know if you can see him, looks so creepy. Like demonic? I don't know. It looks super creepy. My best friend has read this and loved it, so I need to read that. And then another book that actually was released last year, I believe, and the last book of this series came out this year. I read the first book of this series in January, thinking that I would read all of the rest of the books like lickety split, and then here we are, still haven't read this one. I don't know a ton about this one. I know basically the premise is a betrayed woman finds herself again. So I'm pretty sure her husband cheats, because I remember her and him from book 1, and he was an asshole in book 1. Like, you knew that he was not a great person. So I don't know if they're going through a divorce or she gets divorced from him, but then she's learning to like be her own woman again, and then this one man comes along and she just doesn't know if she can trust herself. and allow herself to fall in love. So I don't know. It's Kennedy Ryan, so I know I'm going to love it. I don't know. I still haven't gotten to this one. Then Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. This is another one that I was so hyped for it to come out this year. I read the first book of this series last year and loved it. And I knew I was going to love this one. This one, our female main character, she's a confident plus size woman. She's also a player and she fully like acknowledges her player status. She's got a man for every different need. Like if she wants just a fun, good time, she's got a man for that. If she wants something serious, she's got a man for that. So she's got this like rotation of men. But then one of her men that she has proves that he can potentially meet all of her needs. And like she doesn't know what to do with that. Or if she can allow herself to be with just one person, because that's not who she is. So I don't know. I love Danielle Allen's writing. I know I'm going to love this one. Again, I just don't know why I haven't gotten to it. Then I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend by Jessica Cage. This title basically speaks for itself. Our female main character apparently gets drunk and somehow accidentally summons a demon. And then she's trying to figure out how to send him back. And I mean, obviously it's a romance, so they fall in love. I don't know, but this sounds so good. The third book of this series, I believe, came out this year, maybe not too long ago. I want to say, I could be wrong on that, but I think it did. And it sounds so fun. I've heard amazing things about this one. And again, it's another book on my shelf that I just want to try to finish and read the books on my shelves. So, because I also just bought book 2. So I need to read those. And then the last book that I have for my 10 before the end is Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. Another book that came out this year. I adore this cover. I love that there is a plus size brown woman on a cover with a white man just looking adoringly at her. And I've heard good things about this one. I've had one of my TikTok friends loved this one, thought I would really enjoy it. So I need to read this one. This one, our female main character, she wins she has a winning lottery ticket, but she accidentally leaves it at this bakery. And our bakery owner finds it. He's struggling, but he is apparently his like schemes and plans to try to find the owner ends up going viral. So then they decide to fake date because the fame and the notoriety is bringing more business to his bakery. So they, again, with the fake dating, they decide to fake date because it's bringing him more business. But then also for her, it's showing her family that maybe she can be in a serious and committed relationship and not just be like flouncing around. So this just sounds so cute. And look at this adorable cover. They're so pretty. I love it so much. So I need to read this one. But that is going to be all my books. Not necessarily all of the books that I'm hoping to finish before the end of the year, because I have a bunch of series that I'm also hoping I can finish up and not leave into next year. Something I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to work really hard on not just like reading one book and then never reading the rest of the books, because that tends to be my habit. And so I have those. I have arcs that I'll end up probably reading. And then in December, I definitely want to read a bunch of holiday romances. So there's a bunch of other books besides this pile that I'm wanting to read before the end. But these are some books that I would like to try to prioritize and finish before the end of the year. So what are some of the books that you are hoping to read before the end of the year? What books are you prioritizing? I'd love to hear from you all. But otherwise, again, hit all my buttons, and that's going to be it. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.